Welcome back to the Transplaning Podcast. My name is Bear, joined by the lovely Daphne and her mummified earrings.
I did it again. I did the again. Yes,
Every
they are
time.
mummies.
Mummies.
They are mummy earrings.
Super cute.
Yeah. Well, I'm a mummy, so.
Representing.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So today we have. God damn it! I did it again. Kristen. I got Kristen. I was like Kristen or Christine. Kristen. I got Kristen with us. Kristen is a therapist and also works with PFLAG, and so we're excited to have Kristen here with us today.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah. So we met at Portland Pride, and you were, I believe, with the PFLAG tent,
Yes.
and you were talking about that. But I think before we get into PFLAG, let's talk about maybe a little bit of your history, what made you get into being a therapist, and kind of what it is that you're doing.
Great. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Do you want the long version or the
It is. It's your story. You do what you want.
Well, so yeah, I've been a psychotherapist for almost 17 years now. Originally, I started out in finance and worked there for 12 years, and then decided that that was not my place.
You went
at
psycho
all.
and
I did.
became a psychotherapist.
Yes, exactly. I was about going psycho at that point. And yeah, so I quit and I went back to school. And as I was getting my master's degree to become a psychotherapist, I had 2 children, lovely children. And one of whom I will say is transgender. So after, or actually a little bit before he came out to us, I had started focusing on working with the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And then after he came out, it kind of became a passion of mine.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings me into a few different conversations here that we can run with. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Bear, but I believe you're the first parent of a trans person that we've had on here. Am I missing anyone? Because I can't think of anyone else that said they had a kid that was trans.
Yes, we have.
Who?
Mars. Right? No, not Mars.
Yeah,
No.
but those episodes
No.
haven't been released because we had technical issues. But even still, I don't think his kids were trans.
No, I think that person canceled. I think that's what it is.
Yes, that one
that's
did.
what it is.
We've had 2 of them that have
Yeah,
canceled
yeah.
that had trans kids. So yes.
Oh,
Anyway, long version to say that. Yes, I believe you're the first parent. You're transparent.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're the first one that we've had on the podcast. So, yeah, I think I would like to have the conversation for a little, if you don't mind, about what that's like and ways that you support a trans kid.
Yeah, I would love to talk about that. In fact, I checked with my kid before we came on here, and he gave me permission to talk about his story and talk about our story together, and basically
we should've brought the
divulge
kid with you.
whatever. Hey, maybe he could be on a future one.
I would love that. I would love that.
He's actually
Yeah.
incredibly busy right now. He's in his last year of school,
Yeah.
college, and he's working on a history degree and a teaching certificate at the same time. So he's like going a little bit crazy.
Wow.
But I know he would love to talk to you as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, so so first of all, I just moved here about 1.5 years ago.
Me too.
Yeah, to Portland, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But I grew up in Houston, Texas, as did my kids. And when he came out, obviously it was not a super fun place to be.
Yeah.
Actually, it was okay for a while, and then it got worse and worse and worse. But when he started looking at colleges, I kind of pushed him towards the West Coast.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we went and looked at a bunch of schools, and he fell in love with a school right outside of Portland. And we came out and visited several times the first 2 years he was in school, and we said, that's it, we're coming out here. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's so affirming and accepting and lovely. But yeah, so you asked me, how do we support?
How do you support it?
Yeah.
Like, how old was he when he came out?
So he was 14. So
Okay.
so first of all, he came out as like not straight.
Okay.
A long time before that. Like
Right.
we always knew that he was not straight. In fact, he went to play laser tag with his friends, and they made him this little bracelet with his name on it, and it said "not straight." KNOTTSRART.
The number 8.
And yeah, he was very excited that he had convinced them that was his name. And yeah, so
naughty boy.
Yes, he's a naughty boy. So as he got older, we were kind of, okay, you know, maybe he's a lesbian. I actually put him into a rainbow camp, which was a day camp that they had during the summers, run by this wonderful clinician in Houston. And we noticed that probably half the kids at the camp were trans. And that was really new to me. I didn't know that there were that many trans teenagers, you know, young or preteens even.
Well, in Texas, that would be not big of a thing to see.
No, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, although Houston is pretty affirming, but
Right.
Texas in general
It's
is
not San Antonio.
No. Or Lubbock.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Oops, I shouldn't say that, but or yeah, okay, I'm not.
You
gonna
know what I
listen.
mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So, I started researching. And because I'm a psychotherapist, I get to do a lot of continuing education, and so I just started focusing on trans topics and LGBTQ plus topics. And then my son started getting panic attacks and started having huge anxiety and trouble with school. And, you know, one thing, this is kind of the sad, horrible part of raising a trans kid oftentimes is they become very depressed and
suicidal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually swallowed a bunch of pills when he was 14. His first year in high school, we had no idea why. We didn't know what was going on, and
Yeah.
he couldn't explain. Or
Yeah.
he didn't want to explain why. And so finally, when he did come out to us, for me, it was a huge relief.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, finally we can do something.
Did it connect the dots for you?
It did. You know, I will not say that I was shocked
Right.
to some extent because he was a girly kid. Like, he loved the little pink princess dresses and, you know, sparkly things. And to this day, I think he still does, honestly.
He's now a cross-dresser.
He says, I'm a femboy, Mama. And I said, okay, gotcha. But when he did come out to us, it was a pretty big surprise. And
Yeah.
actually, the story about how he came out to us was I was taking him to the OB-GYN to try to get him on birth control to help with some problems he was having. And he just blew up and said, the last thing I want is more estrogen. And I said, well, what do you want? What do you want? And he said, the opposite. And I said, do you want testosterone? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, but that's a different doctor. So, so then he told me he had chosen a name and all that good stuff. But yeah, it was quite the process. And the next couple years were really difficult during transition. And then COVID hit, and yeah, he ended up having his surgery kind of smack dab in COVID. And
In some ways, that might be nice because you don't have all the public things that not everybody's around you to see the changes.
True. That is true. And he was able to really transition, and we started him in a new school for his junior year.
Yeah.
So he was able to just be himself.
Yeah.
And it was great. And of course, the first thing he did when he got to this new school is he said, I'm trans, you know, to everybody who would listen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's proud.
That's good. That's good. That is not something I tell people.
Yeah.
wait, it's interesting because some people, they're really proud about it. And for me, it's just the transition. And so it's different for everybody.
It is.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of clients. I have some clients who identify as trans, and I
Yeah.
have some clients who just identify as, you know, a woman
Just
or
female.
a person.
Yeah.
And I respect all of those.
Yeah. I had someone write me the other day, email, and they had their pronouns on there, and it was it and its. And I'm like, I don't understand that, but I'm here for it. Like, so they're going to come on the podcast, and it's something I definitely want to talk about because I don't understand it. And so, but that's the point of this podcast, is to learn about the things that we're not around and we don't see, and learn about what's different.
I definitely want to listen to that episode.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good one. And I want to say I talked to one, they had Zer, and I was like,
Zer?
Z and Zer.
Z and Zer.
I think that's with the Z-E.
Zer, Zem.
Zem.
Yeah, I have some clients that use that as well.
Do they just have a lisp?
They-
And Z there. I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't make the joke.
There,
but
there is a website you can go to that lists all the neopronouns.
Yeah.
And yeah,
yeah.
takes some getting used to.
Yeah, for sure. And different doesn't mean bad.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so he comes to school and he tells everybody he's trans. How did they take that?
So he probably won't love that I said it that way. It was kind of a gradual thing, but he did make a decision at one point not to hide it. And he even, they had these, it was a very small Montessori school, private school. And they had what they called soapboxes every Wednesday, where kids could get up and talk for 10 minutes about any topic they wanted to. Of course, it had to be approved first. And one of the topics that he decided to talk about was his journey. And that was really important to him. And I actually, when he went to the school at first, I went in and gave a presentation to the teachers and the staff about trans people. And
how was that accepted?
it was, at this school was very liberal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And they were fantastic about it.
Good.
I got some kind of weird questions.
We get weird questions.
My kid is also ADHD, has ADHD, pretty significant ADHD. So he's got a lot of energy and interrupts people all the time and stuff like that. And he's very excited about everything you talked about.
Yeah.
And so one of the questions was if testosterone made kids aggressive. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Does it not?
Not traditionally. Not the kids that I've seen. Not my kid.
But fair enough. Fair enough.
But it was, it was a question, and
Yeah.
I honored that and said, no, I really don't think it does.
How do you support a kid that wants to come out and transit? Like, clearly you've created a safe space in your house for them to come out and tell you. How do you create that safe space for kids? Like for your kids,
That's a great question. I think there were just a lot of conversations that we had even before he came out, because I wanted both of my kids to know that they would be safe and protected no matter who they were or how they identified. And so, like I would always ask them, have you kissed somebody yet? And I'd say, have you kissed a boy? Have you kissed a girl? Have you kissed somebody else? And they'd be like, Mom, shut up.
Mom, you're embarrassing me.
But also, like, talking about the news, talking about things that made me angry about legislation that, yeah.
I got so many puns going through my head. I'm talking about the news and the olds.
Yeah, so that's a good way to kind of make sure that they know. We also always had like pride flags and books. Always had books around for them to read, inclusive.
One of the things I'm thinking about is, like, growing up, sex was a topic that you can't talk about. It was a bad thing until you're married. And it's this shameful thing, and so it created a space that you feel like you can't talk about certain subjects, and so having something deep and personal like that, you don't feel safe coming out because there are forbidden talks, subjects. And if you are in that culture, if it's a weird thing, then you don't feel safe talking about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I have so many parents. I work a lot with families as well, and I have so many parents that say, I don't understand why my child ever thought that they couldn't come out to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just say, look at society, like look at what's in the news, look at, you know, the norms that are perpetrated in this country, and why would they feel safe, you know?
Well, I think that's really thoughtful, because it's not, you're not sitting here going, they say, why won't my kid come out to me? And you go, well, it's your own damn fault. Right. So, yeah, I think that's a great way to do it, is instead of pointing it at them, just be like, well, look at the norms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This environment is not conducive to trusting, and kids are made to feel ashamed if they're different.
Yeah.
And even with their parents. I mean, I know for my son, it was scary for him to come out to me. And, you know, I knew a lot already. There was a lot I didn't know.
Right.
And there's still a lot I don't know, but I tried.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a good thing, is fear is based on ignorance. I believe, you know, and the way you overcome that ignorance is by being around it, seeing it, talking to it. So if you really want to get over the fear of why is this such a weird, you know, it's by going around and being around these communities and people that are different than you, and seeing that. So there's a bug flying around.
I know, it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, Bear, you want to get it real quick? Oh,
it's behind you.
It's like, oh, where'd it go?
Fell somewhere.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to grab it. We are cutting this out, by the way.
Yeah, I figured.
It fell on the floor.
I just don't want it to keep coming.
Hopefully it's not just stunned.
Yeah.
It's just a little flying bug.
Mm-hmm. Just a little moth.
I don't remember what I was saying.
We were talking about immersing yourself into
In things that are
subjects.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that we're more comfortable. And
Right. So,
educated.
like, I went on a mission to Scotland for the LDS Church, right? And I got to Scotland, and there was Islamic people everywhere. You know, they were all running from the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and all these places. And so they would show up. And when I first got there, I'd grown up with the, you know, all Muslim people are 9/11, you know, perpetrators. I mean, but that's the space I grew up in. So I got there and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get blown up. Like, I'm really worried about that, you know? And I don't remember, at some point I started having conversations with these people, and I was fascinated by the culture, and it was so different than anything that I'd ever experienced. And I started learning words in Arabic and things like that. And so when you would, I found real quickly that if you'll learn just the smallest amount about somebody, they will just open up. And as they open up, you'll just find this beauty that is inside people. And, yeah, I don't know. After that, that's when things really started changing for me. Was I if you don't know about something, go find out. Like, it's more than just reading a little bit on Google. Like, go talk to somebody, go meet them. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, the first thing when parents come to me and say, how do I support my child that just came out as trans, and they're terrified. And I was too, because I was like, I don't know how to.
Suicidality rates skyrocket. Mm-hmm. You're worried about that. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I say is educate yourself. Educate yourself, and I will give you places to go, because there's a lot of misinformation.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some really good resources. I definitely always recommend that they go to PFLAG.
Mm-hmm.
It's a free resource, and it's a great place to learn from other parents and also other members of the community, because everybody is welcome there.
I thought I saw it again. I did not. What is PFLAG for the people that don't? Because I've seen it all across the country. What is PFLAG?
Yeah, it's so funny to me, because people my age, everybody knows who PFLAG is. And as I was working at the parade doing tabling for PFLAG, I kept asking younger people, like, do you know what PFLAG is? And they're like, no, I've never heard of it.
Right.
That was shocking to me. They are one of the oldest peer resource groups. They have been around for, I think the Portland chapter has been around for like 40 or 50 years. It's been around for a really long time, yeah. And originally it was created by a parent or a couple of parents of a gay child, and they created it because they didn't see a place for parents and families and friends to have support. And I think to this day, it kind of, people get the idea that it's just for parents. But it's not. It's actually for people in the community as well.
Right.
It's just meant to be a support, to educate, to provide resources for people. It's a really great organization.
Yeah. So somebody goes to PFLAG. What is it that they are? How do you start that conversation?
Yeah, so it's sort of organic. I think, usually when we have, there are two different types of meetings that they have. They have virtual meetings in the Portland PFLAG. In Houston, I was involved with Houston PFLAG as well, and it was similar due to COVID. We ended up going virtual, and then it was like a hybrid after that. But when you come to an in-person meeting, like we have one this Saturday actually, there's usually a guest speaker that speaks on just various topics during the first hour. And then the second hour is a general support circle. And now the third hour is a specific trans support circle.
Yeah.
So it's 2 hours of just whatever parents want to ask or talk about. And a lot of times parents who have just had kids come out will be in tears and really struggling. And parents like myself who have been in this world for now 6 years, can answer questions and provide reassurance and normalize everything for them, and really even just teach them the language that goes along with it. Yeah.
How to use pronouns and I mean, even going so far as to recognize that people are already using pronouns. It's not this wild concept that's just been introduced.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I think, when parents first come in, they're so afraid, and they're like, I can't get this right. My kid keeps getting angry at me every time I dead name them, every time I use the wrong pronouns. And, I just say practice. Just keep practicing. Practice with everybody. Practice as you're doing housework,
For someone that's new to the community, you want to explain what dead name is and why it's such a big deal?
Yes. So dead name is the name that the transgender person was given at birth, given by their parents typically. And it often has a lot of meaning for mothers especially tend to struggle. When a child comes out as trans, that name doesn't necessarily fit anymore. And so oftentimes they will take a new name, and the old name is referred to as a dead name. And for some parents, that's really hard to hear, that this is your dead name. I don't know if it's.
Well, I mean, the term dead, that it brings its own connotations with it.
It's kind of scary. And one of the parents in one of my groups one time had this great explanation, said, the name that you give your child is a gift. And like any other gift, like a sweater or something like that, sometimes we outgrow it and it doesn't fit anymore.
I mean, how many cis people go, I don't like my first name, I'm going to go by my middle name, or some other, I'm going to go by Junior instead, or, some other nickname, and then everyone just knows that. So, I mean, it's what we're finding really common, and I find this interesting, is that a lot of the problems that people associate with the trans community are actually just a humanity problem. They're just highlighted when you look at it through the trans lens.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so you're now working with PFLAG. How long have you been doing that?
Well, I was involved with the PFLAG Houston chapter for several years before I came out here. I used to do talks for them, and I also was a member, of course. And so when I first came out here, the first thing I wanted to do was hook up with PFLAG Portland here. And by chance, my son ran into the president of the Portland PFLAG chapter at Beaverton Pride.
Oh, wow.
And struck up a conversation. And he said, hey, my mom loves PFLAG. And so we got the information right away. He's even had us over to his house, and we've had them over. We've become really good friends with the president and
That's
his
really nice.
wife.
Cool.
Yeah,
we should get them on the podcast.
They would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I think they would love that.
It's amazing to me how small the trans community is, where you're talking with someone, they go, oh, you know who you need to talk to, and all of a sudden you get like you get big names coming on the podcast. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's really cool. I'm blanking for a second here.
I was just gonna say it was hard. It was not hard to leave Houston. Let
Yeah.
me say that, but and
What made you pick? Oh, you came to Portland because of the college, right?
because of the community and the college, and because we were really tired of Texas politics, and I was tired of the governor calling me a child abuser for providing affirming care to my child, medically necessary care to my child, and so when we knew we were going to move out west somewhere, and we started visiting here. It's just so beautiful, and so we felt so comfortable here.
Yeah,
So
I love that. Do you want to let's kind of get into more of the therapy, more therapy, less psycho, and like, what is it like having a person come in, they've never told anybody that they're trans or that they're feeling this way? What's that experience like, and what do you say to someone when they come in and say, hey, I think this might be happening? How does that go?
So for me, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And my first response is, congratulations. You know, that's so cool. Let's explore that. You know, let's see where we end up, you know, and it's such a privilege to be able to walk through that space with somebody and with their family as well, because it's a whole family journey. And if their family is not participating in the journey, it's also wonderful to be that mom, kind of, in a way. I mean, I can't be their mom, obviously, but to help guide them and affirm
their
them.
hand
Yeah.
yeah.
And say, hey, this may be scary, but it's also really cool.
So someone comes in and you start having that conversation. Do you go, okay, here's the guide map, and what you're going to do is start on A, and we're going to work you through till you chop parts off,
right?
You know, like how does this process work? I'm trying to keep it kid friendly now that I got but I mean, how does that process go?
That it's not a linear process, as I'm sure you know. I usually start by just asking a ton of questions.
Like what?
Like, what do you see in your future? Like, what helps you understand your gender?
Yeah.
What do you love? What do you not love? What struggles have you had in your life? You know, and what do you know about gender and transitioning?
Yeah.
You know, do you have specific goals for transitioning? Do you want to socially transition? Do you want to medically transition? You know, and a lot of times by the time they come to see me, they've done a lot of research.
Yeah.
And they know a lot.
When I first came to my therapist, I hadn't done a lot of I didn't know a whole lot about it. It had been introduced to me as this would, you know, is probably where you fit. And I wanted to do what was going to be right for me, but I also didn't know what that would look like. And I was also highly religious at the time, and I wanted to make sure that I wanted a way to work with that and, you know, be able to explore this area. And I was trying to just find what was right. So I go in and I said, I think I might be trans. And the person goes, well, what makes you feel that way? What makes you think that? And I go, I don't know. I don't know. I think I am, you know. And anyway, I explained some of the things that I felt, whatever. And they go, well, how does that make you feel? And I go, I don't know. It's just what it is. So we did explore that, you know. One of my favorite questions she asked me was, if you saw yourself, you could be anything in the world. There's no limits. There's no holds, no bars. Give yourself 5 years. You know, you could be anything in the world in 5 years. You could look whatever way what does that look like? And I'm like, oh, short shorts, tank top, long hair, you have a chest, you know. And she goes, think you got your answer, don't you?
I love
Fair.
that.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite question that she asked me, though.
Yeah. I did a training through the Gender Health Institute, which is Sean Giamatti. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's in San Francisco, and fantastic trans man, professor, researcher. And he does all these wonderful trainings. And one of the exercises that he took us through was asking us, when did you know what your gender was? And
You just always knew, right?
and then how did you know? And then, and keep asking, and you say, well, I knew because I liked dolls or whatever. And
Okay.
well, there's lots of boys that love to play with dolls. He would challenge every step of the way. And then at the end, he said, how do you know this isn't just a phase?
How do you know?
Yeah. And so he says, how do you feel after I asked you all those questions and challenged you? Frustrated, right? He's like, well, this is what your kids are being asked all the time.
Wait. So, can we try that?
Sure.
Do a test run on that one?
Yeah.
Bear.
Yeah.
No, actually, yeah, let's do it. Bear's quiet. We're going to pick on Bear now.
So, Bear, do you know what your gender identity is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really excited to do this. When did you know? How old were you when you knew?
Oh, I was 3 years old.
Okay. And how did you know? What told you that you were your gender?
There was a surge of masculinity, and I always, all my friends, growing up were male, and I had zero interest in anything that was girly. I didn't. I just simply, okay. A great example was in PE. We did girls versus boys in dodgeball. I immediately ran to the boys' side, and my teacher caught me and was like, "Oh, no, honey, you go over here." I'm like, "Why?" And I was really confused, and I didn't like it, and I just, okay,
That's
kind of one of those.
Yeah, that's
And so I've always had this masculinity about me, and it never stopped. It just, as I matured, I kept evolving,
that's a really good answer.
and it was just.
That was like
I
the
don't know any
easiest
different.
answer.
I don't know. I just don't know any different.
Yeah.
Well, that went easy.
So the answer that Sean says at the end of everything is, how do you know your gender? You just do. Right? You
Yeah.
just do. Because you had that answer probably because you've been asked that question. Or you've seen people ask that question who are trans, because you do get asked that question.
Right.
Especially if you want medically appropriate care. You have to prove that you are trans, which is ridiculous, right? How do you know what gender you are? You just know. And that's what parents always ask me is, how do I know for sure that my child is trans? And I say,
Yeah.
because they say so, right?
If someone tells you what they are, believe them.
Believe them.
Yeah.
It's not like we're giving, 6-year-olds hormones.
Yeah.
That's just not happening.
That just brings a whole new set of questions into my
Well,
Hit me with them.
litter boxes in schools, where they're kids are. It's one of the topics that sometimes gets brought up, right? Let's back it up a little bit. Kids are being groomed into being trans. How do you work with that?
Yeah, good luck with that. I would say there is a lot of evidence that shows that is not true. I would also say if you've ever met a teenage person, asking them or coercing them into being
Anything
other than what they feel at that point they are is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
Yeah. I actually really like that answer. I didn't put pieces together about that something was different and that things were not fitting right until I was a teenager. I think I was 12 when I finally started putting that together and going, something's happened here, but I don't know what it is. So yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
So my son tells me that he didn't really notice anything. He kind of knew something was different, but until the genders really started to separate
Yeah.
and be different, like maybe around fifth grade.
Yeah.
He could be whoever he wanted to be, or, dress however he wanted, or,
Oh, that was not the case for me.
Yeah, well, we also made the mistake of putting him into a religious private school for middle school where he had to wear skirts to chapel twice a week. And every other day he wore pants or shorts. And I know that was really painful. That was probably part of why he started having panic attacks and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there wasn't that much of a difference in the genders, among the genders before puberty,
Yeah.
pre-puberty hit. That was when it got really difficult. And with him, it was kind of easy. People ask me a lot, like, how did you decide to put him on hormones? How did you decide to let him have top surgery? And those were not decisions that we made lightly. We made them with the help of professionals who knew a lot about gender health.
Yeah.
And we also had this kid who did like the trans boy hunch where you could tell he couldn't stand his breasts, and he wore sweaters when it was 100 degrees outside,
Yeah.
and hoodies and
Anything to hide it.
anything to hide it, and anything. He wouldn't take showers. He would only take baths where he had bubbles that were covering up his whole body.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so we were pretty confident that was the right decision.
Right.
And especially when I offered him, I said, you can either have a car or top surgery. And he said, top surgery.
That's a big choice.
Yeah. In a way, you kind of have the rest of your life to get a car, but maybe this is it. It's time. Yeah.
I'm thinking on the movie Accepted. You haven't seen Accepted,
No.
but have you seen Accepted?
Mm-mm.
It's a fun movie. It's one of my favorite movies. But kids don't get into college. They don't get accepted into any college, so they decide to create their own so their parents wouldn't be disappointed in them. So they create their own, and it becomes a real thing, and all these other kids come in. But one of the guys, he does get into college, Jonah Hill. He does get into college, and he ends up, like, becoming a part of a frat, whatever. And he ends up in this, and he becomes the boy that everybody picks on in the frat, And so he's out there wearing a hot dog costume going, ask me about my wiener. I don't know what brought that into my mind, but it did. So I think, I don't know. In my head, it was chop the titties, but yeah. Anyway, we took that detour. Can you tell I got the ADHD?
I love that.
Yeah. Poor Bear. Bear has to. Have you not heard that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing.
That's a real term.
It's a thing. Have you not heard that?
I think it was the way you said it.
ADHD.
It was like, yeah, just kind of, it was the way you said it. It got me.
Now I just want to, like, mispronounce everything and be like, why? Just make you as uncomfortable as I possibly can.
That's like every day.
That's every day. That's every day.
Yeah, there's nothing special about this Friday.
Every time I come over here, I get such a kick out of it. I'll go knock on the door, and Bear, if he's not answering fast enough, I'll just be outside the door going, Daddy! I do it loud enough for his neighbors to hear. He opens the door and just goes, why? Why?
And now when I know that Daphne's on her way, I'll just unlock the door because
Smart.
I don't need that. just come on in.
I will do all I can to make him uncomfortable, and I think it's the funniest thing.
Nailed it.
Yep. Okay, so let's. If there's something you could say to another parent, they want to support their kid. They're not sure how to support their kid. They got the resources, but they haven't really dealt. Like the kid just came out, and they're coming to see you for help. What's something you can tell a parent? Give them hope, or give them some idea of what to do.
That's a great question. And, as far as like what to do, go learn about it.
Yeah.
Join, there's a Facebook group called Serendipity Doodah. And I know it sounds really silly.
I love it.
It's called Serendipity Doodah, the home of the mama bears. And it's for mothers of LGBTQ plus folks. And that was one of the most helpful things that, my son's therapist pointed me towards, because there are all kinds of conversations out there, and they're all other moms.
Yeah.
And they ask questions, and they give support, and it just sort of normalized it for me.
Yeah.
Seeing all the questions and the answers and the terminology and so forth. So either that or PFLAG,
Okay.
is a great way to just feel more confident and comfortable.
The parent finds out, they suicidality rates among trans teens are way higher. The parents are scared about their kid and their mental health, and they're worried about that particular outcome. What would you tell a parent about that?
I would tell them that those numbers are drastically reduced when parents are affirming.
40%,
Yeah.
if one
Yeah.
person.
Drastically reduced. If
Yeah.
they have support in the home and they're talking about it, and especially if they bring them to a therapist like that, I'm like, yes, mom, dad, whoever, parent, this is good. You're taking the right steps.
What do you tell the parent if the parent brings the kid to you to fix them?
So that's a great question. I have all over my website, basically, don't bring your kid to me if you want to change them. Like I'm not the right fit for you, because
Yeah.
I actually say something like, I provide affirming care for LGBTQ plus people, and because that's what the research tells us, and anything different is not founded in science. And
Yeah.
I don't, I'm a big research nerd, and all the research out there tells me that this is the way to go. And right now kids are dying because they're not being provided with care, especially, I know for sure in Texas. And so it's serious, but I think for parents, I want them to know that those suicide rates really decrease.
Yeah.
If you can help, just affirm your child. And affirming doesn't mean agreeing, by the way. It doesn't even mean like
But is it something that you can agree or disagree?
Exactly. No, that's a great question. But some parents would come to me and say, well, I don't agree with this. This is against my religion. This is something that I don't believe in.
Right.
And I tell them, I say, look, whether you believe or not, first, here's what the research shows. And second of all, your kid's going on a journey. Do you want to go with them, or do you want them to go all alone?
That's a really good answer.
I mean, that's their choice. And
Yeah.
I am so, after all is said and done, so grateful to have a trans kid. And that's another thing that I do share. I do share that I have a transgender child or adult, and that it was really difficult for a long time. But now it's joyful.
Yeah, you get to see the light in their eyes. They get to be their authentic self. Instead of them fitting in the box that you've created for them, they're their own self.
Yes.
Yeah. Parent comes to you and they want to support their kid, but they don't know how to support their kid. They have the resources. They have a trans daughter, and they go, how do I support them? Can you offer a tip or two on a way they can support their kid?
Absolutely. I think number one, taking them to an affirming therapist is a great start. And number two is if they need a therapist to get through that process, because sometimes there's grief associated with having a child come out and say that they're not the gender that you thought they were. because you had all these expectations and plans of what was going to happen with them. And so it's not that you're grieving the child, it's that you're grieving your expectations and what you
Yes.
thought was going to happen.
Yeah, it's the loss of your expectations.
Exactly. And I try to tell them the story. My husband is an athlete, and he thought his kids were going to be athletes. Like, he was going to make them athletes.
Yes.
He was going to play ball with them every day and do all this stuff. Well, guess what? I got 2 little autistic ADHD kids who hate sweating.
I mean, which again comes back to the point of the people not being who you want them to be is not an intrinsically trans thing. It's a humanity thing. So we're back at that square again.
Very well said.
As a therapist, you're seeing people in all walks of life in all stages of their transition. What have you seen to be the most affirming thing that's happened for trans people? Like, where have you seen that people are the most affirmed?
I'm not sure I understand.
When I'm thinking like some of the stages where I was the most affirmed was when chest started to grow, or I got to wear that outfit and I thought I looked really good outside, instead of feeling like a freak or whatever. What are the places that you're seeing that people just feel the most affirmed?
Well, one thing I can say that yes, as hormones start to take effect, is really great, and it can take some time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And especially feminizing. It's a long process. But yeah, I can say, especially, well, I'll give my son as an example, but just getting hair on his arms was so exciting for him. And when he had his top surgery, he got his bandages off on his birthday. And we were, it was during COVID, so I was the only one allowed to go with him, but I took a picture so he could see. And he started crying.
Yes.
And he said, "Mama, I'm a boy." And I said, "Babe, you've always been a boy."
Oh.
And he was so happy.
I feel that.
There's just so much joy that comes at different stages. And I don't know that there's even just one stage, but I do think that every step of the way is progress.
Yeah.
I have some clients that feel better just after starting hormones.
Yeah.
Just taking them once.
It's amazing how quick that just, the right chemical hits your brain and you just go, oh. Yeah, it's amazing how much different that makes. Yeah. Okay. I got a game. You up for a game?
Sure.
Poor Bear. Every time I bring a game, Bear's like, oh, dear.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And I'm getting nervous.
No. Okay.
I call this one Find the Fear.
Uh-oh.
It's Halloween themed. Because so for the people, we were recording this technically a week before Halloween, but I'm going to release it on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be the fun of it, okay? So I have a list of fears, and you don't have to have the name of it. What you have to do is we're going to see who can guess what the fear is about.
Okay.
Okay? Because if we go by names, it becomes way too difficult. You understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first one. It's sticky, but not in a romantic way. The look on Bear's face.
Well.
No clues. Okay. Clue number 2. It's smooth or chunky and can ruin your sandwich experience.
Peanut butter?
Yes, actually, it's a fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. It's called arachibutyrophobia.
Oh my goodness. I have never heard of that one.
I haven't either. The rest of them get more Halloween themed than that one. I just left that one in because it was fun.
I was going to ask how peanut butter is spooky.
Because some
Well, I
people...
guess if you have an allergy, yeah, but...
Yes. And I don't know. I just enjoyed it, so I kept it.
Okay.
Okay, now they're more Halloween. Anyway, here we go. They've got 8 legs, 8 eyes, and no chill.
That is
Spiders, arachnophobia. Okay, some people think they're funny, others think they're nightmares.
Clowns.
Clowns, yes, coulrophobia, something like that. Yeah, I don't know how to say coulrophobia. Anyway, whatever. It's a phobia.
It's a common one.
When the lights go out, their heartbeat goes up.
The dark.
It is the fear of the dark. Nyctophobia. Yeah.
Nichtophobia.
A what?
Nichtophobia? N-I-C-H-T?
No, it's NYCT, N-Y-C-T.
Oh.
Oh,
Nyctophobia.
with a Y.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, we're going through these really fast. The next one. You know what would have been funner would be to say the names and have you try to guess what they are and start dropping clues. Oh well. Anyway, the next one. They avoid broomsticks and black cats at all costs.
Superstition?
No. Halloween movies like Hocus Pocus are basically horror films to them.
Fear of the
Fear
witch?
of magic?
It's fear of witches.
Fear of witch?
Yeah, it's Wiccaphobia.
Wiccaphobia.
That makes more sense.
I thought you would like that one.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. We're going to call this one chiroptophobia. It's the ultimate Halloween flyer, and not Delta, by the way.
Ooh, bat.
Yes, it is a fear of bats. And the last one I got here is phasmophobia.
Ghosts.
Go.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, they ain't afraid of no. Well, actually, yes, they are. So that's what I got. I mean, technically, I have more, but they're not all Halloween themed. So we're gonna keep it with that. What?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Think
I'm
about
okay.
lack of sleep.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, there's a deprivation going on here.
So what are you going to dress up as for Halloween, Bear?
I do not have a costume this year. Last year,
Really?
last year I was the bearded lady. This year I don't have a costume.
No costume.
Too many invitations to different parties, and
Oh.
I'm just going to be here, there, and everywhere.
That would be an interesting
a werebear.
costume. Oh, yes.
Yeah. With the ears.
You
and
need to
the
be a
tail.
werebear.
I need to be a werebear.
I like that.
I do too. Oh my God. I'm going to
That'd
wear
be
a
fun.
picture of a shirt, or I'm going to wear a shirt with a picture of you so I can be a werebear.
Thanks.
How about you? What are you doing for Halloween?
You know, I don't do well with Halloween. I think it's
Yeah?
an autism thing, but
What is it about it you don't care for?
there are no rules for like what I'm supposed to wear.
Wow.
And I noticed my youngest son also struggles like that. Like
Yeah.
he used to always get grounded on Halloween, and I figured out that it was just too much pressure for him.
I had an issue with that last night. Bear and I were having a drink, whatever, and they gave me the margarita, and I started freaking
Oh
out. And
my
Bear's
God.
like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know where to start." And he goes, "What?" I was like, "There's so much salt. I don't know where to start with this." And he's like, "Start at the lime." And I'm like, "I can't. Where do you start?"
I
It's a
suggested.
complete circle.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I suggested, well, do you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise? Start at the lime and just work your way around.
But the
Or
lime is
start
on the
with
rim, so
or
you can't start there.
Or start with the straw, and get the flavor in your mouth, and then pick a direction.
Oddly, that makes
me.
a lot of sense.
Does it
to
make a
me.
lot of
yes,
sense?
It does.
Thank you. I'm
Me,
not
I'm-
crazy.
I didn't think you were crazy because you had a preference.
Psycho.
Well,
They
good
bring the
thing-
therapist.
Yeah, to me, I just don't. I don't care. Like if I had a drink like that and I had a bunch of, I don't care. I just drink it. I don't think like that. I don't think on those terms of where do I start and Why? I don't
You have
question
to
it.
go
I
in
just
order. You have to go in order. Like when it's your food, you start at the least favorite part of your plate, and then you work in a circle around the plate. Just so you know, that's the rule.
I guess.
No, it is. That's the rule.
That's the right way to do it.
I guess. I'm just happy that there's food and I can eat it.
No, you heathen! You're over here just throwing food in. There's a right way and a wrong way, and that's wrong.
Excuse the fuck out of me. I'm just happy there's food.
Anyway, Kristen, thank you so much for coming. Like, I've really enjoyed this, and I don't know, it's fun. Well, this is a new experience, right? Having a parent of a trans kid is something new, and it's a section of the story that's really important, and we just haven't had on the podcast yet. And so having that is, I don't know, it brings a lot. It brings a lot to the podcast. So thank you so much. I've really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was really fun. I hope it was as good as the last one.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Yeah, and you were nervous about coming on, but hopefully we made that easier for you.
Definitely. Calm down.
Do you have any like shameless shout outs where if people want to, I guess that if people want to find you, if people want to find PFLAG, how do people find PFLAG?
Yes. If you're in the Portland area, it's pflagpdx.org. And you can always just search by PFLAG, PFLAG, and you can find a local chapter near you.
I believe it's .org, right? Not .com.
It is. It's .org.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect.
Cool.
Bear, as usual, you want to kick us out?
Mm-hmm.
Or take us out? Don't kick me out. Just I said you want to kick us out, but don't kick me out. Just take us out.
Not yet,
Lead
not
us
yet.
out.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for this episode. And you can find us on Facebook, Spotify, and TikTok, as well as YouTube. And if you yourself.
You're short circuiting right there. I was watching your eyes. You were trying so hard.
I'm running on dial-up. I'm the AOL disc you got in the mail. Anyways. And if you yourself would like to be a guest on the podcast, email daphne@transplantingpodcast.com. And our website's also transplantingpodcast.com. Go ahead and leave us a line. We like to hear from everyone. And as always, welcome to the family.